What's going on, guys? It is your boy Screens, and today's video is going to be all about 2K21. As you guys can see by the title and the thumbnail, this video is going to take every single little snippet of 2K21 that we have gotten so far, everything that we know about the game when it comes to price, my player builder, badges, the new shooting system, all of that. We're going to get into this video. Now, I have some background gameplay for you guys. This is I'm pretty sure this is a wager that I never posted. This is against Domo. It was very intense, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the video. It's just like as a placeholder. So I have some tweets here from Mike Wang, obviously the head developer for the 2K franchise. He's been going crazy. He's been going nuts on Twitter, bro. He has been putting out a lot of news. This is usually the time of the year that, you know, they start to put out little bits of content for us and like kind of start to rile us up for the new video game. And yeah, so I have a bunch of screenshots of those, so I'm gonna put those up on the screen whenever I get to talk about them. I have them on my screen right here, so I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna put them up on the screen like I said before, and for like I'm gonna give it also a bit of my opinion when it comes to the screenshots and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into the first one. Now, the first one that I want to talk about is the tweets. Now, I'm going to talk, like, not all of these are from tweets. Some of them are just like known information because of like prices and stuff. I don't think there's any tweets about the price of the game. But for a lot of the people that are buying the game, buying the right one is actually kind of confusing this year. It took me a little bit to fully understand what to buy and like what not to buy. And there's reasonings for that. The Legend Edition gives you a lot of like extra stuff, and it really depends on which one you're gonna like, if you're gonna buy the next gen consoles and stuff like that. So stick around for that. If you guys have concerns about that, you guys obviously can just skip ahead. If you guys already know a lot of like the information that Mike Wang has tweeted out, like say you guys are on Twitter, just keep up with that. You guys can easily just skip through the video to the part that you want to know about like the prices and like what version of the game to buy, because I'm obviously, like I said, I'm going to put my own 2 cents in. So, you know, enough rambling about that. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with those post notifications if you guys are new to the channel. Also, follow me on Twitter, which will be in the description, because YouTube notifications suck balls. They are terrible. And yeah, so the very first screenshot that we have here is, like, all these are tweets from Mike Wang. He says that the jump shot creator isn't gated behind a workout anymore. It's available off rip. Now, I know a lot of people had a concern with this this year in 2K20. They basically found no point in playing My Career. So obviously you can get all of your badges not in career. You can get them anywhere you want, and that's the route that a lot of people did. Now, the only reason why people played career for the jump shot creator in past 2Ks, like in 2K17, it was because the only way you could get badges was in My Career. You kind of just got it from playing career and getting your badges, and then one day in like December you would be like, oh shit, I got the jump shot creator. That's kind of how it was for me this year with my my paint beast. I don't know if you guys know that I had the custom jump shot creator on my pure red paint beast, but the only reason I had it was because, or I got it was because I was going for my defensive badges. Defensive badges are probably the only one that is very difficult to get in like Pro-Am, Park, and all that other stuff. And so I just decided to get it through career, and that's the only reason why I have the creator. Now, if defensive badges were extremely easy, I obviously would have like did it in Pro-Am or Park or something like that, because the jump shot creator is really the only incentive to play My Career. And this year especially, you have jump shots like 38 and 98 or D Wade that they don't like need a custom. In other years, nobody used the default jump shots, other than the fact that either the jump shot creator simply wasn't in the game in 15 and 16. They weren't in the game unless you did like the demigod glitch in 15. But in 16, I don't think there was a jump shot creator. In 17, the only reason people got it was because it was a part of the badge grind, and why else wouldn't you get a jump shot creator that year? In 18 and 19, they gave you, it was through overall. So basically, once you hit like, I think like either 75 or 85 overall, you just got the jump shot creator, which is extremely easy because the second you max out your player, you get custom jump shots. This is the only year where the My Career grind isn't worth it, because you don't have to get badges solely through career. Now, I don't know about like everybody, but this year I like jump shot. I like custom jump shots. I didn't like the default 98 jump shot. I didn't like the default Dwayne Wade jump shot. For those of you that know, I've been using the same custom since September. I need my custom to shoot. I don't like the other shots. Now, this is a huge W for me because now I don't have to play a shit ton of my career to get the jump shot creator. I can just unlock it right away. Now, obviously, we don't know if it's because of like through overall and stuff like that. I'm just assuming that like at 60 overall that you just get the creator. But, you know, that's fine with me, honestly. I don't really give a shit. I don't have to play a bunch of my career. Now, obviously, for certain badges, like maybe if the defensive badge grind is the same, I'll still play my career just to get those. But knowing that I don't need to play it and grind my ass off for something that on like a point guard I don't necessarily need and stuff like that, that's actually a huge W. That's one of my favorite parts of like his tweets. Now the next one has to the next few, I think I'm gonna like pair these up, has to do with badges. Now this person tweeted at Mike Wang and said, at Baluba, is pogo stick removed? Now I don't know if I've ever voiced my opinion on pogo stick, but I hate this badge. It's in my opinion, even though I use it on Hall of Fame, it shouldn't be in the game. Now, if you jump in the paint, like if somebody's rim running and you press Y and jump out of the play, you know, you should be punished for that. But in my opinion, having pogo stick on Silver or Hall of Fame, it just decreases the skill gap when it comes to being in the paint. Now, it's not hard to press Y, realize that you fucked up, and then spam Y again. I could teach a toddler how to do that. I could teach a small baby how to do that, how to spam a button over and over and over again. Now, if you don't see that decreases the skill gap, I don't know what to tell you because that's my personal opinion. I don't think it's skillful to press Y over and over and over again and not allow the person in the paint to go up for a shot because it's just too contested. With the pairing of Intimidator, Rim Protector, Chase Down Artist, and fucking Pogo Stick Hall of Fame, the paint is basically useless. Unless you get a driving dunk or a standing dunk, there's no reason to go up with it because this pogo stick badge is just going to allow you to keep spamming Y. Now, Mike Wang replied with, pogo stick is still in the game, but it was nerfed. I'm like, apart from just being taken out, obviously I need to know what the the difference is. Now, obviously, like, I didn't have Pogo Stick Hall of Fame on my 6'10 shooting glass lock. I only had it on Silver because that was the biggest jump from not having it to Silver. It was like, it took like a second off or something. And I never put it on Hall of Fame just because of the badges. Now, if Hall of Fame is the exact same as Silver, that's fine in my opinion because you're going to need more badge points for less like time or for more time in between jump. And I'm actually perfectly happy with that. I would more like rather like it not in the game because I feel like it reduces the skill gap, but it is a step in the right direction. We're making this badge balanced but not insanely overpowered like I felt it was. Now the next tweet has to do with the Intimidator badge. Somebody tweets at Mike Wang again and goes, at Baluba, is Intimidator broken still where the center is nowhere near me but he's still around so you miss open layups? This is actually a huge problem in 2K this year. If somebody like you'll just miss open shots. It's unbelievable in the paint. You'll miss layups, you'll miss dunks even. Like the other day I was just playing the one score. I was missing 1% layups and I was missing 4% layups on a pure slasher against like a point guard. This shouldn't be the case just because somebody on the court has a badge that intimidates a person. This is an NBA player we're talking about. If the layup is wide open or 4% contested, or even 1%, it's not a contest. Now, don't even get me started on dunks because there have been times where the person is nowhere near the play and you'll just miss a dunk. Like you'll just run to the paint, hold X, your guy will go up for a dunk and he'll just slam it off the rim and he'll miss it. That's absurd. And the only reason why they miss it is because we're not talking contested dunks either. We're not talking like, oh, like the guy's under the basket and it's a contested dunk and that's why you missed it. I mean, there's nobody between you and the rim. The next closest person to you is at the three-point line and you dunk the ball. You will sometimes miss those. And I know that there are some people out there that are watching this video that have, you know, like, damn, how did I miss that wide open fucking dunk? It's because this badge on Hall of Fame is a bailout for players that aren't actually playing defense. They're just on the court. Having a badge and being on the court is not enough for a person to miss a dunk But in 2K this year, apparently it is. And Mike Wang says that's been turned back. So hopefully what he means by turned back is that there's going to be no more missing wide open dunks / layups just because a person on the court decided to use 4 or 3 badge points on, Intimidator. So the next tweet that we have here is another person tweeted out at him, at Baluba, I hope I get a response. Been 5 years, no response from you, lol. I know you answered about shooting. Will there be a difference between a 99 3 ball and a 73 ball? And then Mike Wang replies with that, there's a pretty significant difference. Take your 3-point percentage as a 70 and add about 20%. So, honestly, I'll check this right here. And I honestly don't know, why this is, I don't understand fully his answer. Because if you guys look at my park, stats, I've been shooting with a 74, 71 3 ball this entire year. And my stats are, I've been shooting 65% from the 3-point land. And that's with a 70. With my meter off and obviously all these Hall of Fame badges. So now, is that gonna, is that all greens, keep in mind? Or is the white percentage jacked the fuck up to the point where, these high shooters aren't gonna miss shots? Because if I'm shooting 65% with a 73 ball, you mean to tell me that a 99 3 ball is gonna be 85% from the field? I don't necessarily understand that because I don't know if it's just because this game isn't the best when it comes to low 3-point ratings. Because as you guys know, pure lockdowns can shoot from the corner. With a 51 3 ball, it's not hard to time your a jump shot and stuff like that. And for all the people that are out there oh yeah, low 3-point shooters should be able to shoot because we took time to learn our jump shots. Shut up. It doesn't take a whole lot of brain power and skill to hold X and release it at the same point over and over and over again. Once you make 5 greens, it's essentially muscle memory. You have the timing down. You're fine. So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit in my comments. But yeah. So I'm just a little confused on what he means by that. There's a pretty significant difference. Take your 3-point percentage as a 70, which is for me is a 65, and add 20 to it. So apparently if I make a center that has a 99 3 ball, I'm going to be strapping it from half court with a fucking 85% efficiency rating. Now, I don't know if this has to do with solely being able to green or anything like that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see for the actual game and see what happens, but I'm a little confused on what he has to say about that. So the very next tweet that we have is about I kind of cut it off here, but it's essentially Laker fan talking about non 3-point shooters being able to shoot. Like I said, this year pure Reds are shooting from the corner consistently. They are able to green shots over and over and over again, full bar shots, and they're strapping it with ease. And so Laker fan is talking about how the first original part of the tweet was Mike Wang explaining to a person that if you don't add ratings or attributes to your 3-pointer and mid-range, you're not going to be able to shoot. And Laker fan responds with, does that mean not putting in anything? So you have a 33 ball, or are you still not going to be able to shoot when you have a 51? Because obviously if you add attributes to a pure lockdown, he's going to have a 51 3 ball, but he did add attributes. So, Laker fan was just trying to clear that up. And Mike Wang replies with, the goal is for you to have to be, I'm retarded. The goal is for you to have to be at least in the mid to high 70s to be a decent threat. If people are consistently hitting as a 51 overall, or 51 3-pointer, I'll make a hot fix. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not buying that at all. It's been the same since 2K, I think, basically ever since 2K17, these non 3-point shooters or 3-point shooting builds have been able to shoot. If you guys played 2K17, you remember that glass cleaners were shooting consistently from the top of the key. There was honestly no reason to have a stretch in NBA 2K17 because glass cleaners had could get every single bronze shooting badge and could shoot top of the key threes with ease. They weren't glass cleaners. They were essentially strap bigs. They were pick and popping. They were pick and rolling. And, they were only meant to be inside centers that grab rebounds and set screens. 2K18 was a little different. I mean, I guess you needed 3-point shooting in your build to be able to shoot. But I feel like in 2K18, shooting was just so overpowered to the point that nobody really felt the need to try to find jump shots that that were like just better for non 3-point shooting builds. Now, if you guys know, like what I mean by that is in 2K19 and 2K20, those are the 2 years for non-shooting builds being able to shoot. People found these jump shot bases, that are just insane. They're able, like, they take shooters with a 53 ball and they just make them ridiculous. I don't know if you guys remember Set Shot 13 in 2K19 or Steph Curry in 2K19 as well. But those bases essentially turned pure lockdowns, pure 6'10 lockdowns, and pure 6'11 rim protectors into snipers. Those people were not missing if you had your hot spots and all that other stuff. Now, obviously, like, hot spots are different, but I don't see that being a huge factor, especially with the additions of Floor General and having Dimer in the game as well. So, like I said, I'm not personally buying it. They always say that shooting is going to be different this year. They always say the same things over and over, like, oh, the dribble moves are more responsive, they're more skill-based, all this other stuff, the shooting's going to be better. They always say that, and then they never really fall through. By the end of the year, it's always the same thing. These non-shooting builds are able to shoot with ease. So I'm not really going to buy it until I see him making hot fixes. And even if he does, in my opinion, the way that this always works is that Mike Wang always implements hot fixes into the game where, the shooting is very hard and that you actually need a pure sharp to shoot. And see, this has happened in past 2Ks. I don't know if anybody remember 2K17 or the beginning of 2K20 where nobody was shooting. Nobody was hitting these shots. And the thing is, the community cried about it. The community cried about it the entire time. They're like, oh, Mike, shooting is too hard. Please, make it easier for people. And he obviously is going to listen to the community. He's going to listen to the community, because if people are telling him shooting is too hard, people aren't going to play a game where they're just pelting the ball against the backboard. It's common sense. 99% of the community does not know how to time a jump shot. They're bums. Now, when you're bricking over and over again, if you can't hit a shot, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to make a pure fucking slasher, which is just boring for a lot of people, or you're just not going to play the game. Now, obviously, Mike wants to keep the player base as high as possible, and what does that mean? He's going to make the shooting easier for everybody. Now, this is going to kill the skill gap, but it's going to keep more players around, aka more money for 2K. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm not buying what he's saying in this tweet, but, like I said, I'm going to have to wait and see. The next question has to do, and again, somebody tags him and goes, at Baluba, will Quick Draw still be on the next gen too? And then Mike Wang replies, yes, it's gone forever. Now, I looked around. Mike Wang did say that a lot of his tweets were about current gen, but for as much as basically everything that he said applies to current and next gen. So as far as we know, Quick Draw is gone forever on both current gen and next gen consoles. In my opinion, this is a W, because I feel like the main reason why, they removed Quick Draw was to prevent these non-shooting builds from being able to shoot. These stretch bigs, these pure shoot, these pure red builds that are shooting from the corner, and it honestly didn't do anything. There's still non-shooting builds able to shoot. There's still stretch big centers, and so honestly, in my opinion, this is only punishing people that have shooting in their archetype. Now, what I mean by that is because if you for my case, for my case, I made a red-green center, meaning that I am part shooter, part defender. Now, in my opinion, I've devoted half of my build to shooting. Why should I have to use 4 badges off the rip to get Hall of Fame Quick Draw? I feel like that doesn't really, it's just a waste of badge points, in my opinion. If my jump shot were faster altogether, just, on its own, I could use those 4 badge points elsewhere. I could have put on Hall of Fame Deadeye the second I got those 4 badges. But instead, I had to use Bronze Deadeye until I hit Legend. I had to use Silver Green Machine until I hit Legend. And that's just, I feel like it's just a waste of badges, and it didn't really prevent what the entire intent of the badge being added was for. If the intent of the badge was to remove non-shooting builds from being able to shoot, it didn't do a good job, so there's really no point of the badge being in the game. Now, the only thing that this kind of hurts is the jump shot, or helps is the jump shot speed for these non-shooting builds. I don't know if, like, I was talking, Power actually mentioned this in his live stream, I think yesterday, where he was talking about how, you know, the addition of quick draw basically made it so that these non-shooting builds were they had slow jump shots. You know, if you wanted to be a non-shooting build but still be able to shoot, you know, you had to have silver quick draw. You had to have base 38. Now, if you just had a fast ass trigger like fucking pure Steph Curry or set shot 13 and 19, these non-shooting builds were greening consistently, and they were getting shots off very quickly, so they were hard to contest. Now, Power does have a point in there when he says it, but I mean, if non-shooting builds are not going to be able to shoot like Mike Wang says, even though, again, I don't buy it, if Mike Wang is telling the truth, the whole non-shooting builds shooting at fast speeds, it shouldn't necessarily matter just because, you know, they're not going to be able to shoot in general. Like, why? It doesn't matter how fast they're shooting if they just can't hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be interesting. Like I said, we got to obviously see the full game to confirm or deny what is a good addition and what's not a good. In my opinion, the removal of quick draw is a W. I hated adding 4 badge points off the rip to any of my players just to be able to shoot and like fast and actually get a shot off instead of being 100% smothered every single shot I took. Now, the next tweet has to come from this guy. He goes, @Baluba, so my players don't transfer from current gen to next gen. That's actually a huge thing because I know a lot of people aren't like, you know, they're not gonna get the new consoles right away, or if they are, they don't know if they should either save money and buy the new console or rock with the current gen, buy a player, grind him out until about Christmas, and maybe get the next gen console as a birthday or a Christmas present just because of like the pricing issue. And Mike Wang replies with, the next gen my player builds, badges, and takeovers aren't the same as current gen, so the saves aren't compatible, and that's the reason why, you know, your current gen player won't transfer over to the next gen consoles. I'm pretty sure that the only thing that like transfers is VC and a whole bunch of shit for my team. So obviously, if you're a my team player, this doesn't really like, it doesn't matter what you buy. But for me, I'm a park player. You know, the only reason I buy 2K is for the park and my player aspect of it, playing against online players and stuff like that. So obviously, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the next gen consoles, but I'm also gonna like make my player on the current gen Xbox One. So what this means is from what I'm reading is that the entire system is going to be different. So the whole, like, basically current gen, I don't think is going to be I don't think it's going to be the same at all when it comes to next gen, like comparing the two, current and next gen. So is that huge to know about? Yes, because I'm pretty sure that the next gen 2K21 is just going to be this insane game. If you guys remember, the difference between 2K14 on the old Xbox 360 versus the next gen NBA 2K14, which is now today's current gen, they didn't have Park and last gen NBA 2K14. They did add it in NBA 2K14 next gen. So if they're going to keep up the trend of adding something huge in the next gen consoles, I'm expecting 2K21 to be a completely different game than the current gen. I think life as we know it in 2K21 is not going to be the same on the current gen or on the next gen compared to the current gen. But so that's my take on it. Now, back to what I was mentioning before about the whole financial situation, you're going to have to restart. So obviously for like casual players that don't really care, I'm pretty sure they're gonna, like, obviously I think they know that the game, or not everybody's gonna get the next gen consoles when they first come out. But I think that the current gen 2K21 is still gonna be usable. Like, I think there's still gonna be a rep system. I think there's gonna possibly be a stage and stuff like that. But I feel like the game is gonna be totally different. And so when it comes to finances, obviously, like I said, I'm going to get the next gen console and I'm going to get the game for the next gen console, but I'm also going to get the game for the current gen. However, if you're not like me and you're struggling when it comes to money and stuff like that, obviously, if you already had the Xbox One and the next gen console is like a lot of money to you and you can't buy it right away. Like I said, maybe you can get it as a Christmas present. That's totally fine too. You don't have to get the new consoles right away. So that's my personal take on that. And we're gonna go into the next thing here. Now we're done with his tweets. The next thing that I'm gonna throw up on the screen is basically what version of the console to get. Now hold on, let me just get it up on my screen. I'm probably gonna edit all this out. Alright, yeah, so I'm gonna throw this picture up on the screen right now. This is essentially what every single version is for current and next gen and what it gives you. Now, as you guys can see, the current gen is 2K21. It's your standard $60 and it comes out on September 4th. Now, obviously, you can buy it on the platform, like every single platform, the PS4, Xbox One, and stuff like that, PC, Stadia, and all that other stuff. Now, if you guys look on the bottom, this relates back to what I was saying about what transfers over when it comes to, like, because obviously my players don't, like I said. It says earned and purchased VC is shared between console generations, Xbox One to Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. This is basically confirming what I said, where I said that only my team, a bunch of my team shit and a bunch of your VC is going to transfer over. Those two are connected. Now, like I said before, my players aren't a lot of, basically everything else that is not listed here. If you don't see it here, it's not going to transfer over to the other console. Now, looking at this, the one thing that I want to talk about is the current gen, or basically the Legend Edition for the current and next gen. If you guys look, for the current gen, if you buy the $100 edition, you will get the standard edition for free on the next gen console. Now, also, it goes both ways. If you buy the Legend Edition on the next gen console, you will get the default version for your current gen. So say, for example, because I don't want to confuse anybody, if I pre-order or buy the Legend Edition on the Xbox One Series X or the PlayStation 5, I will get just the normal version, not the Legend Edition. I will get the normal version of NBA 2K21 for the current gen. So basically, I'll pay $100 for the Legend Edition on the next gen consoles and the regular edition for the current gen console. So, and it goes vice versa for the other one. If I were to buy the Legend Edition for 2K21 on my Xbox One, if I were to buy the Xbox One X, I would get the standard edition of NBA 2K21 on the next gen console. Now, that may be a little confusing, obviously. Like I said, if I didn't word it right or correctly, you guys can do kind of your own research, but I think I explained it pretty well. Now, there's a lot of pre-order bonuses for the Legend Edition for both consoles. But what I'm kind of looking at, I'll try to find a screenshot and I'll throw it up on the screen. I'm pretty sure, for me anyway, I saw a bunch of, I'm pretty sure it gives you like 3 days of double rep for getting the Legend Edition. Now, obviously, once the next gen console comes out, and if I buy that right off the rip, which I plan on doing, that's a W for me. I will have 3 days of double rep right off the rip. And obviously, once the next gen consoles come out, and if I get a next gen console, I'm not going to play my Xbox One X. Now, obviously, for the other copies, it's way different. If you don't plan on buying a next gen console, what I would personally recommend is buying the $60 edition, and just depending on what you play on. If I'm expecting that a lot of my viewers play Park, if you buy if you want to buy 2K21 for the current gen because you're not going to upgrade to next gen right away, maybe you'll sit out the first year or something just because you don't want to buy everything all over again. If you buy I would buy the regular edition for 2K21 on the current gen if you don't plan on switching to next gen, and then just pay $50 for VC to upgrade your player and then live off of that for the rest of the year. That's what I usually do for 2K. I don't really buy the Legend Edition all that much because a lot of the stuff just has to do with my team, and the VC doesn't max out a player. I don't really play my team all that much, and so when I buy 2K, obviously I'd rather pay $110 to have a fully maxed out player in a game mode that I'm going to play, rather than $100 and a bunch of useless shit and not even enough VC to pay or to upgrade a player. So now the next thing is the My Player Builder and all the news from it. Like I said before, it's good. It's a lot different than 2K. Like the comparison between current gen and next gen is way different. Like I said, I'm fully expecting a completely different game on NBA 2K21's next gen version compared to its current gen version. I think the second we pick up the next gen version, I think it's gonna just completely fucking explode in our faces because it's gonna be so different than what we were actually expecting. Now, the My Player builder, they have revealed to us that when it comes to making your players, there's different height restrictions. So this year, the max height for a point guard, I'm pretty sure was 6'6". Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure about that. But they also told us that this year they're gonna have oversized point guards, and what I mean by that is they're gonna bring back the 6'8" point guard. And so this seems like very cool right off the rip, but if the My Player builder is kind of like similar, not even the same because I know it's not going to be the same on next gen, but if it's even similar to what we have in 20 right now, making your point guard taller or even that tall, the speed is instantly killed. Like the difference between a 6'5" play shot and a 6'1" play shot when it comes to speed is unbelievable. Obviously, the smaller you are, the faster you are, the harder you are to keep up with and all that other stuff. So when it comes to making a point guard like your stereotypical play shot or something like that, or even your BP build, you're going to want speed. Can I see point forwards? Like, remember the 6'10" point forwards from 2K18 coming back? Not really, just because I know how annoying those things were to deal with, and 2K I don't think likes them. But if 6'8" is going to have 99 speed, everybody's going to be running around with these 6'8s. I promise you that. Now, do I think they're going to do that? I don't think so, but like I said, we're just going to have to wait and see. I would look at the speed of a 6'8", and if it's like in the low 80s, high fucking 70s, that's an L. Because that's how it was this year. If you make a 6'8" player, he can't move. He's not as fast as a point guard. And like I said, being a point guard, you need to be able to run around, speed boost, quick stop, fucking have the fastest jump shot known to man, and get these shots off. And I don't think you can really do that as a 6'8" player. I don't see it happening. Now, could I be wrong? 100%. I could be wrong. They could give every single point guard, no matter the height, 99 speed, so I could have this 6'8" fucker running around at the speed of sound. But like I said, it's going to be a lot of things that we really don't know for sure until the next game. And that's like that. Like I said, we're not gonna know about everything 100%, like for sure, until the very next until we actually play the game. So yeah, that's a huge fucking thing for us. Another thing that I want to talk about is the park itself. Obviously, as you guys know, we have gotten the same park for 2 years in a row. The 2K20 park is literally the exact same. There's nothing different compared to the 2K19 park. Now, do I see that returning in 2K21? Yes and no. I think that we are going to have the same exact park for 2K21 on the current gen. So meaning that when we buy 2K21, I think we're going to load into the exact same park. I think it's going to be the exact same one that we've had for the past 2 years in 2K20 and 2K19. Now, I feel like when we upgrade to the 2K21 next gen, that's when I think we're going to have see a new park. I don't see them putting a ton of effort into the 2K21 current gen just because, like I said, it feels like they're just making an entirely new game on the next gen console. So I could easily see a lot of like the aesthetic factors, like the park look, how the stage looks and stuff like that, how the Pro-Am looks, being the same on current gen. But when it comes to the next gen, that's where I feel like they're going to hit us with a bunch of creativity and a bunch of new stuff. Because like I said, they've already changed the My Player builder. That's why these players aren't like transferring over, because it's completely different. From the builder itself to the builds to the takeovers. Even the takeovers are different. Like, what the hell? You mean to tell me that there's new takeovers, or they work differently, and there's not a new park? Like, you mean to tell me that this park is exactly the same? That's insane. I don't believe that. But yeah, like I said, I feel like we're gonna have a lot of new stuff on 2K21 the next gen when it comes to like what am I trying to say? Aesthetic features when it comes to looks and stuff like that. I don't see it being any different on the current gen. So yeah, that's my take on it. Like I said, I could be wrong. We could be getting 2 completely different parks for both consoles. We could be getting 2 completely different parks for the same console for both current gen and next gen. They could have a different park that could be the same, but like shared between them. You know, obviously, like I said before, I feel like I've repeated this. We're not going to know 100% about everything until we actually play the game. Now, obviously, the game comes out. I'm recording this on the 17th. This game comes out essentially in 7 days. The demo comes out. So that's when we're going to get our first like taste of the game. And yeah. So that's everything, honestly, that I found important during this entire rigmarole of fucking Mike Wang tweeting shit out and a bunch of leaks and stuff like that. So, yeah. That's the end of the video. I hope that you guys did enjoy and found at least one thing in this video helpful. And yeah, make sure to like up, comment, and subscribe with those post notifications if you guys are new. Also, follow my Twitter, like I said, will be in the description to keep up with me and the channel. And also, if you guys have stuck through, I don't know how long this video is. If you guys have stuck through with me throughout this entire video, comment just the word diamond down below. I want to see how many people actually watch this instead of like all the way to the end, instead of just clicking on commenting, liking, and leave. I want to see who my real ones are. So if you guys have come this far and watched the entire video up until this point, comment diamond. That is DIAMOND down in the comment section, and I will know if you are a real one that watched the entire video all the way through. So it's been your boy Screens, and I'm out. Peace.